It's been a few weeks since I've done a news video. I think one of the last ones I did was about a month ago, discussing how Fujifilm is coming back in a big way. And I was like speculating, like, it'd be great to see all of the new things or the old things that Fuji brings back, because as many of you know, they've got great film. They really do. Like, genuinely, they have some really quality film. And apart from Kodak, they're really the only major producer that's putting out a consistent amount of color film out there, like manufacturing on a main scale color film. Like, yeah, there's Filmotech releasing the NC400, NC500, but not like in big batches such as Kodak or Fuji used to, whatever. So Fuji bringing film back, huge news. But I was like very skeptical because they don't really need to. Like, in terms of where Fuji's at as a company, yes, film is in the name. I saw a comment that someone was pointing out, like, oh, the film is still in the name. Yes, it is. But they make so much money right now based only off of their digital cameras, which are phenomenal. Like, they really and truly are phenomenal. And they are receiving all of the deserved success from that innovation in their digital camera technologies. Apart from that, they're also making, I'd imagine, hand over fist money with their Fuji Instax line. Two very good sources of revenue that have nothing to do with film. And where Japan's at right now with like cracking down on environmental regulations and whatnot, like, film production is not the greatest thing for the environment. It's a bunch of chemicals, so I can't imagine that's like super good for, Mother Nature and whatnot. But the juice really ain't worth the squeeze, and you saw that years prior when they axed Pro 400H, and then this news hits early April and is now kind of being recirculated in the online media shortage, that FujiFilm Superia 400 Extra, whatever, all sorts of additional words, is also being discontinued. Great. So why is this impactful? One, this is one of two of the like consumer grade Fuji stocks out there. There's the 200 and the 400 color Superia films, and the speculation is 400 and 200 were just recanned Ultramax, recanned gold, and that may or may not be true. I'm not smart enough to really know the difference. Also, I just want to point out that it was like hailing like 2 minutes ago, and then it stopped completely. The sun came out, and now it's downpour raining. So I don't know. Allegedly, it's spring, but April showers and May flowers. Anyway, so Fuji 400 film it's a quality film. It's a very good quality film. It has a lot of like typical Fuji characteristics, really good grain for the value that you get. Ultramax is really vivid and colorful. It lacks a lot of the strong detail and definition to really show a variety of exposures. I've been shooting it a lot recently. I've not shot the Fuji film in a while. It's just not really been out there in the world to shoot. And now it looks like it's not going to be out there at all, ever, to shoot. And I guess my thought is, what does this mean? Like, for you and for the consumer at large, it means suck. It means suck, because this is kind of the foretelling eventually. Oh, now it's like raining really hard again and hailing again. Glad I got the windows closed. That's crazy. Anyway, is Fuji going to be around for much longer producing film? If I had to venture a guess, I'm going to say no. I think that they're offloading what stocks they have left over, and that's it. I think that's kind of what we're looking at here, which sucks because some of my favorite films are Fuji films. Provia, Velvia, 200, fantastic films. Good fucking luck finding them. And like Provia, I feel like every time I want to buy a roll of it, I just gotta take out a fucking loan pretty much. It's so expensive. But it is one of my favorite films. And they're probably not going to have it for very long. So what we're looking at actively, the forthcoming farewell to this titan of the industry, to like one of the big three film manufacturers, if we're thinking Kodak, Ilford, Fuji. If Fuji's gone, which again, they very likely are, because have you seen the prices on the Fuji X106? Like, not only the original prices, but the resale prices are so high, meaning the demand is through the roof. And that's only one of their cameras. The Fuji X100V or whatever is still phenomenally popular. Like, the value on that has like skyrocketed. They've got the Midas touch right now with digital cameras. I'm not even fooling you. It is absolutely bananas to me. So what we're looking at is this company that's like, yeah, this just makes more sense. We can just put in more effort into our digital film, our digital camera lineup, and make infinitesimally more money than if we continue to try to like skirt whatever environmental restrictions Japan has to try to produce film for a market that like wants new products, is really, really wanting more FujiFilm. But it's much smaller. It's a smaller market of diehard fans, and they're just seeing that. It's like, yeah, that's great, but this. So I think what we're seeing is them kind of constraining that. And it might not die off completely. Like, they still might have the Fuji 200 and some of the Pro stocks, the Provia and Velvia aforementioned. But I don't know. In my mind, I think it makes more sense that they just kind of ride it out with Instax, which they just, they just invested a bunch of money into, and they just ride it out with their Fujifilm digital cameras. To me, that's where it goes. And that sucks. But that's kind of what it is. Pour one out for the homies. I guess I don't really know. I think overall, just a little bit melancholy. I think that the hail is not helping that mood out today. I guess that's it for now, really. I'm just kind of bummed, to be honest, because it's like, what are we doing? I guess, I think there's something to be said about the worries of a bit of a monopoly in the market, but I also think at that point, Fuji's not been as such a high-level manufacturer, production rival to Kodak that I don't think we're really considering a monopoly. Also, I don't think that Kodak has as firm a grip over the industry as other monopoly projects in the past, or other monopolies in the past might have. That being said, they do produce probably all of the color film except for Filmotech, which is small batch, ADOX, which is small batch experimental, and then Harman, which is also small batch and experimental. So that's a little troubling. My only hope is that we don't see kind of what happens in a lot of these like monopoly situations where, because they don't have any like direct competitors, they're able to falter quality a little bit and hopes to kind of skirt costs. Not to continue to relate this back to MMA, but little MMA portion for everyone who hates that. It's just not a popular topic, which I don't totally understand. It's a terrible sport. I just enjoy it. But anyway, the UFC, for instance, is like the stalwart of MMA. It's like the only MMA promotion that actually turned a profit last year to the tune of like way too much fucking money. But anyway, it's fine. It's great. They have these like huge tentpole cards like UFC 300 I spoke about previously, which, by the way, I was pretty good on most of my picks, not gonna lie. Pretty proud of myself, not gonna lie. I did get the Charles Oliveira pick wrong, which breaks my heart, but that's okay. The champion still has a name. Regardless, the UFC has like the corner in the market in terms of MMA. And what do we see happening? There's no competition, so they can just throw up a UFC Apex card, which is like a warehouse building with no one sitting in it. They pay the fighters next to nothing to fight, and ESPN gives them a bunch of money for doing that. And that's how it is. Like they don't have to compete. They can just do that, and it's enough, because that's better than the alternative, which is nothing. If you're an MMA fan, you'd rather have that than nothing, even though that kind of sucks. Kodak is being the only color film producer out there. A little troubling. Fuji not making consumer film is a fat bummer, and I don't really know where the market goes from here. But I'm going to buy some FujiFilm, and I'm going to shoot it at some point, and that will be nice. And I think at the end of the day, that's the takeaway. Do the things that make you happy, and try to ignore the dumpster fire of news in the world around you. So, thank you all for watching. Appreciate it as always. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Got other videos planned for this week, so make sure to tune in for those. Oh, and don't forget, big news next week. Still kind of working on it, but I should have like pretty substantial news to share with you, which I'm very excited about. So we'll see how it goes. But I'll catch you then, and enjoy the videos. Later.